think that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. We have with us today Judi Franco, Chalme, and who is, we're actually very lucky to have her today. Let me just read you a little bit about Judi. She started her career as a child actress in San Francisco. She trained at the highly regarded Circle Star Theater and did extensive theater work in the Bay Area. After studying speech, communications, and theater at both Monmouth College and NYU, she landed a job at the Monmouth College radio station WMCX-FM, and the radio seed was officially planted. Midday disc jockey at New York City's 105.1 FM The Buzz. In 1997, she was offered the opportunity she had always dreamed of to do talk radio. She started on the overnight and moved to the midday slot weekdays with her partner Dennis Malloy on New Jersey 101.5 FM. She offered listeners her unique take on everything from parenting to politics on the Dennis and Judi Show. New Jersey 101.5 FM, the legendary 50,000-watt Trenton-based radio station, was her radio home for 11 years, until she recently made the difficult decision to leave in order to attend her many family and religious obligations. Judi has written and recorded Judi and the Jolly Beans, an original children's album, which she performs whenever she can. She considers this children's musical one of her greatest professional achievements. Judi lives in Long Branch with her husband Mark and their 4 children. And the key to it all, Judi says, is a dream of loving family and a supportive husband. With Mark and the kids behind me, I can accomplish anything. Please welcome Judi.
I wish my mother could be here to hear that. And I'm not even saying this. How much did you talk about Rebecca? We got sick of it after a while. She loves you too. It's hard to believe that I'm standing here at 10 after 2 on a Tuesday when I would be just getting off the air normally, and it really is, it's difficult to get used to this. But I'm really loving it because I'm having more opportunity not working, believe it or not, than I ever had working. So it's just the way, as Kim said, I just reframe things. Thank you for letting me copy off your paper. It never occurred to me that I would ever stop working. It was 18 years, short breaks only after the birth of each child and then back to the microphone. And it never occurred to me that I would ever have to worry about finances. I made a lot of money. It was a part of who I was. And I just knew that I had to, because I had to have everything I wanted. But who I was began to change over the last few years. After my husband suffered through a serious illness and my daughter through several debilitating surgeries, my priorities began to shift. I knew that it was time to make a change. Little did I know when I submitted my resignation letter to New Jersey 101.5 that I would be sharing my big financial challenge with the world's biggest financial challenge. So timing is not my strong suit, but I know. I think it was the day after they got my letter that Lehman Brothers fell. And I went back and I was like, well, maybe I'll change my mind. And they're like, yeah, no, we hired somebody for a quarter of the price. Get over it. So for reasons that I'm only beginning to understand, I'm not afraid. And a lot of it has to do with some planning and some budgeting, just the way these ladies have spoken to you about. So I'm more prepared than I ever was. Even to be a different kind of person if I have to. If you told me a few years ago that I wouldn't be able to just go buy furniture whenever I wanted to, or go on an exotic vacation if I felt a little stressed out, I would have said, no way, I could not possibly live that way. I'm spoiled, I didn't marry a rich guy, so I'm just going to go work and get my stuff. And isn't it amazing how life changes your God changes your plans? I thought I was the kind of girl who needed stuff. But as anybody who has been through a tough test can tell you, when you are through this tough test, you end up discovering parts of yourself you never knew you had. Today, I talk about saving yourself, getting through a financial crisis by being creative. And when I use the word creative, I don't mean the kind of creative that's like painting, designs on socks so you can sell it at the boutique show. Not that that's a bad thing, because people do that and make money, and God bless them. I would shoot myself, but a lot of people love that. And, one thing that, so I could never sell stuff. But people sell stuff and make so much money, it's amazing to me. I'm like too insecure to sell stuff. So when I'm talking about creativity is, it's actually another step, because bringing in extra money is only part of the creative solution. The real challenge is finding in ourselves and creating the person who doesn't need to have everything. That's what I mean by creative. It's the thinking out of the box type of creativity that can literally change the way you think. For instance, we've all said at some point in our lives, and you fill in the blank for your own personal self-concept. Me, I could never wear this, do this, drive this, be like this, eat this, not eat this, skimp on this. Me, I would never do that. Fill in the blank. All of you could fill in a million of these blanks. Most of us human types say that because we just don't feel comfortable changing. Human types do not feel comfortable changing. And that, saying I could never or I will never, is the opposite of creativity. It's actually limiting. By creative, I mean creating a new you who thinks a different way and accepts challenges in a different way. Now, I have to bring the Jewish part into this. We're in a shul, I might as well. Creativity is the essence of a Jewish woman's soul, and that's why the Angel Fund, the Ladies Angel Network, is so important, because as Erwin was saying to me before, you got a bunch of women who are the most creative souls you've ever met. These are women who are very, very special, amazing people. And in my line of work, as I'm sure for you ladies too, I meet all different kinds of people from all walks of life, and I've never met anybody like our women. So this is the essence of our soul. It said that all Jewish souls are searching, which means we all need spiritual fulfillment to keep us alive and motivated and growing. But part of that can have a practical application in times like this, and I'm going to tell you how. You get down to the nitty-gritty. Identify what your real needs are, and learn how to obtain fulfillment from less, not more. This is creativity. I know it sounds ridiculous, and it probably sounds really obvious, but until you actually put it into practice, it's hard to believe that it's true. I propose that spiritual fulfillment does indeed take the place of material fulfillment. And if you don't believe me, try it and you will see. At a certain level, you've probably heard this before, but now it's time to put your spiritual money where your soul is. Now, you may not feel as though you have any financial issues, and for some people, really, it is all relevant. Only you and your family know for sure what your particular issue is right now. But I know that almost everywhere throughout the world, people are having an issue. It's only to the extent that that issue exists. I propose that if your community is having a financial crisis, so are you. And so for the sake of your extended family, your aunts, uncles, cousins, community, in fact, all of Kalal Yisrael and the world at large, it's up to you to become more aware of your financial habits. Like any bad, unhealthy habits, smoking, overeating, amassing material stuff is a habit that a lot of us have, and it's a hard one to break. Even people who don't think they spend a lot or shop a lot, we all have it. So you need to replace it with something that feels really good. Like when you quit smoking, they say go for a run. Here's what I've done to help myself and my family, and I want to share this with you. Don't laugh at me. First of all, I have become a spiritual consumer instead of a material one. For every day that I have to cut back financially, I replace that spending activity with a spiritual one. And I don't mean sitting and praying every time I don't buy a dress. I mean, if my goal is one less shopping trip this week, one less clothing item, one less pair of shoes, or one less dinner out, I replace it, and I'm not kidding. I either read an empowering book, I go to a class that day, I replace an hour and a half with talking to my kids, hanging out with my husband, playing a game with them, an hour and a half at the Freehold Mall. Instead of doing that, I'll do an hour and a half of like not speaking Lashon Hara or something simple like that. Yeah, I mean, it sounds obvious, but you really sort of have to concentrate on it, especially me with the, with the big mouth. I have to concentrate on it. Why do I do this? It makes me feel better, it makes me feel more in control, like I'm actually doing something, less vulnerable, and it makes me feel like I can take a negative and turn it into a positive. That's it. It's simple, somehow it feels kind of selfish, but it's not, and it allows me to take this negative, as I said, and turn it into a positive. I'm repeating myself, sorry. Okay, so that gives you control, feeling of control.